Time in East Lansing, where in short order, Jeff Hostler has turned the Michigan State women's soccer team into a program that you do not want to miss. And today, they take on the number 5 team in the country, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This game presented by TIAA, dedicated to providing a more secure retirement to millions more Americans. And good evening, alongside Lauren Link, I'm Dean Linke. Last year, Michigan State beat Notre Dame in the regular season. They played each other in the spring. These two teams know each other well.
They do, and not only do we have a good rematch tonight, but these teams saw a lot of each other in the summer as well. A lot of Canadian national team call-ups, a lot of United States national team call-ups amongst both teams. I have a feeling it's not going to be quite so friendly tonight.
Lauren, Michigan State has a dynamic duel in the midfield.
They do, and there's so much firepower up top for Michigan State, but Emerson Sargent and Bella Najira are really kind of the maestros behind it all and ruling that midfield. So I think it's going to be important what they do tonight to make the offense happen for Michigan State.
When you think about Notre Dame, you think about Izzy Engel, but their head coach Nate Norman said Charlie Codd is key tonight.
Yes, and I love that he shouted out Charlie Codd. Both teams highlighting their midfield. I think it's going to be a really important space tonight. Charlie Codd, coach talked about how much ground she covers and really being the engine behind this Notre Dame team. So much firepower both directions. I'm really excited to get this one going.
First of 2 big-time games, and at DeMartin, they have packed the house. We are expecting them to do it again tonight for a good one. It's the Fighting Irish, and it's the Spartans. Women's soccer coming up on the Big Ten Network.
Cerakote revolutionized car care with its #1 best-selling rapid ceramic paint sealant.
The grass is always greener when Big Ten soccer season comes calling.
Shot and a score!
Let's work!
Don't miss the show that tackles the most important stories, spotlights the brightest stars, and showcases the biggest personalities.
Let's go, baby! We never down! Say who, say what, say not in the house!
On the Pitch, all season long on the Big Ten Network. And see more Big Ten stories anytime on Big Ten Plus.
Nate Norman's starting lineup for Notre Dame is young and athletic.
Yeah, and you talked about the midfield early on, but Engel up top, 6 goals already on the season, 1 assist. I mean, 6 goals in 5 games is crazy. So I can't wait to see if she can capitalize on some more tonight. She's by Chukwu up top. 2 really talented forwards, and a little example of that USA versus Canada that we talked about earlier.
And Jeff Hostler's starting lineup for the Michigan State Spartans.
And one player I'm really excited to see in a different uniform this season is Kennedy Bell up top. A Maryland transfer, caused a lot of problems for folks last year as a Terrapin, this year causing some problems already as a Spartan.
DeMartin Stadium, which in the last 5 years has put themselves in the top 5 attended venues for women's soccer, which is just amazing because this program was essentially left for dead. In comes Jeff Hostler, who won 3 natties at Grand Valley State in Grand Rapids, Michigan. In that first year, won 10 games, probably should have got in the NCAA tournament. The next 3 years, they've been in the NCAA tournament. They've made it to the Sweet 16. Notre Dame, a program that has made it to multiple college cups. They've won multiple national championships. They are a perennial power, now getting it done with Nate Norman.
Yeah, both such impressive resumes. You know, as someone who has been in those shoes, not coaching shoes rather, but as a player, I can tell you it's easy to take for granted making the NCAA tournament at all, let alone making the College Cup. I was never fortunate enough to make it that far, but I can tell you it's such a privilege to make the NCAA tournament at all. So for them to have such consistency doing it is such an impressive feat.
An amazing night of soccer on the Big Ten Network. Right after this game, we'll head out to the West Coast for Stanford, #1 in the country, taking on Southern Cal, #6 in the country. Again, that game coming up right after this one. And then on Big Ten Plus, there are all kinds of games that you can tune in. Big Ten Plus has upped their game, and it's made it great because there are 18 quality teams playing women's soccer in this conference.
No doubt. And, you know, when added the 4 West Coast teams to the Big Ten mix. I think everyone was a little bit unsure what that would look like across the board, but we talk about women's soccer. I mean, whoa. The amount of talent added from those 4 teams alone is big time, as evident, last season especially. So yeah, the level of soccer being played in the Big Ten is really exciting.
That was Ava Lutke, number 31, the outside back a moment ago. One in the midfield, where we will see a ton of midfield battles in this game.
Yeah, both coaches talked about the midfield quite a bit heading into this game and how integral those possessions would be.
Be a throw in for Michigan State. Notre Dame takes it away. That's Grace Restovich, one of several sophomores. This freshman class that is now in their second year was phenomenal last year for Notre Dame. One more year under their belt, and I think it's a key reason why some people have said, some of the pundits have said, Notre Dame could win the national championship. What a job Jeff Hostler has done, though, in short order. He's from East Lansing. We'll have more at halftime, but this weekend he's going into the East Lansing High School Hall of Fame. Got it done at Alma College, got it done at Grand Valley State, and man, has he ever got it done at Michigan State.
Well, right, we talked about that impressive resume and being able to say, 2022, 2023 regular season champs in the Big Ten, two Sweet 16, appearances, top 15 finishes the past 2 years. I mean, that is just craziness, especially to do it in such short time.
Michigan State looking dangerous. Del Francis, a redshirt sophomore from Perrysburg, Ohio. As you take a look there at Carolyn Calzada, the grad student transfer from Texas A&M. Notre Dame does not have a ton of transfers. It is not easy for them to hit the portal based on their academic rules and regulations. They have a few, but when they get them, they have to get usually like people like you, Lauren, that are complete brainiacs that are set up for graduate or medical school, that type of thing.
People do usually refer to me as a brainiac, Dean, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
Just call it how it is. This will go out of bounds.
You talked about that big freshman class, and really this team is still pretty young, but Coach Norman mentioned that it doesn't feel like they're that young. They have so much experience. They had so much playing time from those freshmen last year, and really there's nothing more that you can want when you talk about a young, talented team who also was lucky enough to get a lot of really good experience.
Michigan State, again, in the all-white kit. Notre Dame in the all-blue kit. Notre Dame does have an all-green kit. In fact, you can see in the Kelly green their goalkeeper. Notre Dame led by Nate Norman, who played for the Fighting Irish. And back in the middle by Michigan State. What a schedule the Big Ten Network has put together for women's soccer this year, and then Big Ten Plus rocking it out so you don't miss a thing. Michigan State getting a little pressure in their six. Allie Marin, the senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, part of the Michigan Hawks. There's Nate Norman, 8th season as the Notre Dame head coach. Impressive record of 86, 42, and 16. Has an overall record of 144, 77, and 30, but just could not pass up the opportunity. He actually was a head coach at a couple spots, and then Notre Dame called and said, hey, we need an assistant coach. And he's like, yeah, I want to go back. And then in short order, after being the assistant coach, he was promoted to the top job. And they will whistle a foul against Michigan State. A dangerous opportunity for Notre Dame, as that's Grace Restovich.
And Notre Dame is really good in the air. So any ball that is in this final third, I would consider a dangerous opportunity. And that's something that Jeff Hostler talked about, needing to be really competitive in the air against this Notre Dame team.
Restovich, who has 1 goal and 3 assists, had 11 assists last year for Notre Dame. Sent in by the Fighting Irish. Noel Henning, freshman from Canada, who has been playing with the U20 team. You talked about that. Played with Caleb Briggs on that team, Renee Watson on that team, and all 3 of them are starting to get looks from the full national team as well. Noel Henning, also, like her coach, a big-time basketball player, which is another reason why Coach Hostler loves her so much. And she is majoring in communications. She wants to do what we do. She wants to be a sports broadcaster. She's got a big-time personality, and she's a big-time goalkeeper.
Yeah, I love that. And you mentioned the Canadian teammates, and we asked Coach Hostler about that Canadian pipeline and how that got set up. And it sounds like Renee Watson was really the first one to get it going. And once you get one, you draw in more. And he mentioned that the cold weather and geography not scaring them off was helpful, which I thought was pretty funny.
Well, and Notre Dame also with a pretty good pipeline to Canada as well. You touched on that in the open. No score. Michigan State, one of 2 universities, Tennessee the other, that have been hired by FIFA to handle turf maintenance for a little thing called the World Cup next fall. So that's one of the reasons why DeMartin, with both teams playing here, always looks fantastic, as turf maintenance is a big-time degree that you can get out of Michigan State.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't necessarily think about, all the work that goes into the facilities, at these schools, but I can tell you, I've seen firsthand, it is a lot of work, and you take it for granted. Now in my old lady league, I'm twisting an ankle every few minutes. You get used to that Bermuda grass and that turf, and set you up for unrealistic expectations.
Well, a little bit of wind, but for the most part, I mean, it's maybe sweatshirt, jacket weather. That's pretty ideal for the players.
Oh, no doubt. When we were watching them warm up, I was thinking this looks like perfect soccer weather to me.
Way back in the midfield to Restovich. Deflected by Michigan State, coming out and wanting to press a little bit more. Michigan State almost didn't want to mention it because it's still kind of hard to believe. Jeff Hostler, only one other time a team coached by him had allowed 5 goals. Well, they went to Xavier in Cincinnati, and Xavier had 5 goals before the 40-minute mark. Xavier would win that game 5-2. Jeff Hostler said, look, it was one of those situations where they were so efficient. We weren't marking as well as we normally do, but it's also one of those games I felt like he said we can also put behind us and be ready to knock off a quality team in Notre Dame.
Yeah, honestly, if you're going to have a bad game, it's not the worst time to have it when you consider you're not in conference play yet, and you head into now this big game against a really good Notre Dame team with a chip on your shoulder.
Cod in the middle of it a moment ago. Now won back by Michigan State. Look how busy the midfield is. Look at all the white and blue jerseys in the middle of the field. So you just got to believe there's going to be some opportunities open wide for both these teams, Lauren Link.
You certainly would think so, and Coach Hostler mentioned that specifically, that was going to be part of their game plan, is taking those wide spaces and trying to spread this game out a little bit. And I will say, Michigan State talked about the importance of coming out strong for them and having, a good start against this Notre Dame team. And I think if you're Coach Hostler, you look at this first 10, 12 minutes and feel pretty good about that. They've had a lot of the possession. They've pressed quite a bit, and they struggled against the press against that Xavier team. So far, I would feel encouraged if I'm on the Spartan sideline.
Second time Restovich has been taken to the ground. There's Jeff Hostler. Assisted by Gabe Romo, Allison Mack, and Tim Verschuren is the coaching staff for Michigan State. Man in the middle, the official is Eulogio Villapando. On the lines is Jake Brochu and Jason Cross. That's the officiating crew for this battle. I'm going to say it several times. When you're done with the thrill of this one, then you've got #1 Stanford, now in the ACC, taking on #6 Southern Cal.
Yeah, talk about two good games stacked up tonight. You're not going to beat those two matchups.
No, fantastic. Southern Cal, led by a super sophomore in Faith George, who won an ECNL championship, had a great freshman campaign, and has kept it going. She'll be featured with a new and exciting program called On the Pitch, where the Big Ten Network really puts the spotlight on women's soccer and men's soccer across the conference. Great stories to tell. Notre Dame, first real opportunity, but not much on it. It'll be a goal kick coming for Michigan State, and that's Codd.
Yeah, the first real shot attempt we've seen from either team, but comes off her foot a little awkwardly. No real threat there for Noelle Hunning.
Henning, who's got a twin brother named Max. Big trap, middle of the field there. Michigan State and Notre Dame with that pressure has got to knock it out of bounds. And this will be a dangerous throw-in coming from the home team, Michigan State, with another great crowd at DeMartin. There's adult Francis.
Francis doesn't always get the start, but Coach wanted her athleticism in there tonight. And so far, already some good glimpses as to why that was the goal.
Yeah, good point. Both these teams, you will see quite a few players come off the bench and get minutes in the first half and the second half. But Francis, based on her athleticism, knowing what Notre Dame brings with so much speed up top, and Izzy Engel and Annabelle Chukwu. Annabelle Chukwu, by the way, 29 goals with the Canada Youth National Team. As you take a look right there at Renee Watson, who is a teammate with Chukwu on that Canada team. That dropped back by Notre Dame's Chukwu. It's hard to believe that we are 15 minutes in and I have not yet said Izzy Engel's name, as Izzy Engel is amazing, coming out of Minnesota Thunder Academy. What a signing for Notre Dame over a year ago. They play it up top, and that is Engel, just like that. Now Engel with the pressure. Engel listed at 5'9", has good size, as it's great to be in East Lansing. DeMartin Stadium, home to the Michigan State women. Alongside Lauren Link without an E on Dean Linke. Inside Michigan State. Still trying to stick with it, and unlucky right at the end. That was Kayla Briggs fighting through. It almost looked like a penalty as she was taken down inside the 6, kept fighting with it, still almost scored. Went off the post and out.
Yeah, no, this ball comes out of the back and doesn't look like it's going to amount to much. But Adele Francis, just talking about her, plays it in, and Briggs able to carry this here and take on multiple defenders, uses her body so well to hold them off, but can't quite get that shot up. Actually almost sneaks that second attempt in.
two big transfers up top. Kayla Briggs from Providence and Francis. The other one is Kennedy Bell from Maryland. Francis not a transfer.
Rare mistouch there from Bell.
Check this out. Kennedy Bell, 8 points last year, 9 points already. Loving her time with Sparty. Meanwhile, Briggs, 8 points at Providence. She's already on the board as well. So two big transfers for Coach Hostler.
Absolutely. And, you know, the transfer portal is a really big piece these days of putting a roster together. And, you know, 2 transfers is only, 2 people. It's not that many, but it's a huge impact that they've had on his team already this season. And Kennedy Bell, we mentioned earlier, Maryland transfer, had a decent season last season at Maryland. They definitely struggled as a team, but she has been referred to as a Swiss Army knife, dangerous one-on-one, can take players on at speed. And I think we've only seen just the tip of the iceberg there tonight with her so far.
So Nate Norman smiling as if he might have been the one that got the yellow card. Sitting next to him, Martin Rennie, who was his coach when Nate played professionally for the Carolina Railhawks. Martin Rennie was his head coach before he took on the job at Vancouver. Now is kind of his right-hand man for most of the soccer technical and tactical part of the game. Certain that yellow card was issued to the bench. Is that what you're thinking, Lauren?
Well, I was actually going to talk about the pressure here from Notre Dame. This is really where, they want to excel, and we've only seen a couple glimpses here tonight, but they are so dangerous when they can pin Michigan State back in that defensive third. Michigan State talked about needing to, not be rattled in those moments and be really calm, and so far they've handled it really well and passed out of that pressure. But I think that'll be an important aspect.
Oh, you're spot on. That pressure gives Notre Dame the ball back again inside the 18. Couple bumps. Referee hangs on to the whistle, doesn't blow it. So Michigan State now trying to counter the other way. Good work by Notre Dame to hang on to it, as this will fall to the feet of Lainey Matriano, who is from the state of Ohio. Now it's back to Leah Klinke. Klinke, who has
I don't see a lot there.
the yellow card, though, was given to someone on the bench. I know Nate Norman a long time. I just think based on the smile that he had on the bench, he got the yellow card. Sargent to get in the middle of it. One back, though, by Notre Dame. Restovich. 11 helpers last year. A lot of those going to Izzy Engel, who in her freshman campaign had 19 goals.
That's a crazy number, Dean.
Yeah, she's
As a
big time.
freshman.
Yeah. Well, she led her club team, Minnesota, pretty sure to a USYS national championship as well. Her high school team was great, former Minnesota Player of the Year. She is just a flat-out goal scorer, and as you said, in 5 games already with 6 goals and 1 assist. You got to remember, Kate Fossey won the Mac Herman Trophy last year with 20 goals. Right behind her in 19, second in the nation, is this player right here, Izzy Engel. Good squared ball, center of the park for Notre Dame. Where they're spacing right now, Notre Dame really good. Restovich might have been better served to push it out right to try to serve a ball in, particularly with Chukwu and Engel inside the box. As it is, Noelle Henning
Well, we talked about those wide spaces, but neither team has really taken a ton of advantage of them yet. Notre Dame, who we talked about being so good in the air, I agree. I think it'd be a good opportunity for them to look for those wide spaces and serve it in, take advantage of that.
Well, you hit it on the head, Lauren. We talked about it, but we haven't seen it yet, right? The wide spaces. Yeah. Player down there's Emerson Sargent.
Not what you want to see from Michigan State. Looks like probably an ankle.
The clock has stopped at 23:25.
Yep. Just catches the outside there a little bit and turns her ankle. Hopefully that's something she can walk off.
Speaking of 19 goals, we got to continue to spread some Big Ten love as Kaylin Dudukovic for the Ohio State Buckeyes, also with 19 goals. And this is after Fisher and Sears had moved on. Emma Sears now looks like somebody that could make Emma Hayes' next World Cup team. She's been that good, and Fisher's done pretty well in the NWSL as well, with two former Buckeyes.
Yeah, those are all names we've said a lot over the last couple years. Some big-time scorers coming out of that program.
Sargent taking off the cleat. Just about halfway through the first half here at DeMartin Stadium.
Earlier with not only is it an impressive resume, but to do it in such quick fashion, such quick turnaround, and really the consistency. You know, it's not that the Haas's put out one impressive season that was kind of an outlier. I mean, they have consistently been really, really good and really fun to watch.
Notre Dame. Calzada. Gets it wide here to Klinke. Klinke with the quick throw in. A little bit of heavy touch. We have seen a couple subs get into the game. We'll get you caught up on that in a moment. Right now, Klinke is doing her thing near the end line. Great ball, far post. And it's finished for Notre Dame. A tremendous finish. Lurking there was Champa. And it's Notre Dame lurking there. My bad. It was number 7, Chukwu. And it's 1-0 Notre Dame.
And check out this fancy footwork from Klinke. Pulls it back. Oh, nope, I'm going to take that here. And then a great little service back post. Chukwu's waiting for it. Her first goal on the season. And that is textbook. Puts it right where Henning is not going to reach it. And this is such good work from these two. Notre Dame comes up 1-0. Michigan State's got to find the answer.
So Chukwu already had 4 assists on the season. Now gets her first goal. And that lethal combination up top of Engel and Chukwu. But you said it, Klinke, that was really created all by her. Just tremendous work along the end line.
Third goal scored by number 7, Annabelle Chukwu. Assisted by number 4.
It's interesting because so far this game, I really would have said that Michigan State kind of had the upper hand in terms of possession, chances even. You know, Briggs had that chance in front of goal, but that just goes to show how dangerous Notre Dame is up top. And they didn't have a ton of possession so far, but here it is again. This little move and takes her on the baseline, and then perfect service and perfect finish from Chukwu. So much talent up top.
Nifty little move by Klinke getting around Ava Lutke. Lutke, who won a was eligible to play again this year as the Rangers made it back to the USYS National Championship game, but she was already in camp with Jeff Hostler and Michigan State, and the Rangers did not win this time around. Here's Engel. Notre Dame has a 1-0 lead. It'll be a throw-in. Notre Dame has scored at least 1 goal in every opening half this season. And on the season, they are outscoring the opposition 10-1 in the first half. Notre Dame will play this back to Kasica. No more Kasica. The goalkeeper for Notre Dame, sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida.
A great job there by Notre Dame to pass out of that pressure from Michigan State really calmly. Coach talked about Abby Mills, and despite Michigan State having that pretty high pressure, some solid chances, she has really not looked bothered.
Michigan State sends it long. Notre Dame with the impressive goal scoring numbers early. Michigan State has impressive goal scoring numbers late. In fact, I don't think Michigan State has allowed a goal after minute 35. We'll show you that in a little bit. Right now, here's Engel. Engel. By Michigan State. Engel continues to fight for it. That pressure will win it back for the Fighting Irish. It'll fall to Klinke. Klinke with another nifty move. Klinke's got all the little nifty moves. Chukwu, who's got the goal. Referee says no, play on. Number 5, Notre Dame, Michigan State, receiving votes. They had been ranked most of the season and fell out after that tough loss against Xavier. They'll find Klinke again. Klinke with Lutke. Klinke! Klinke! And denied by Henning. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, Notre Dame.
Leah Klinke just whipping out all the moves. This touch is so impressive right there. Straight to goal. Makes it really hard to defend, and I like the shot here, but Henning does a nice job defending that near post. Pushes it out of bounds, but Notre Dame now has the chance at the corner.
Really being dangerous. Here's Morgan Roy, the junior, wearing 23. Goes to the far stick. Headed first by Michigan State, second by Lutke, also Michigan State. Trying to keep it in bounds. The Spartans do. They'll play it forward. Can Michigan State get something going in transition? It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Lutke and the Spartans. Check this out here. Goals allowed this season. Remember, they gave up 5 goals in the first 34 against Xavier. They've only given up 3 other goals in all their other games, and they have not allowed any goals after minute 34.
Yeah, it's a fascinating stat, to be honest. In one way, it's got to be frustrating to get down early, but I think it also speaks to resilience of being able to hold off goals later in the game and come back, and obviously they'll be looking to do that here.
The Spartans, to add to that, have outscored the opposition 11-0 in the second half this season. So it's one of those things where you can tell Jeff Hostler, as a tactician, with his halftime, they've been effective. Don't forget, coming up, number 1 Stanford, number 6 Southern Cal. We got number 5 Notre Dame here. Big time soccer on the Big Ten Network. Throw in for Klinke, who right now would be, I think, the leader in the clubhouse for MVP. She has been lethal over here on this left side.
Totally agree. She has really fueled the chances Notre Dame has gotten so far, and then obviously a big driver in that goal.
Klinke, who won a bronze for the U20 team, USA, in the U20 World Cup. We'll throw that one out of bounds, and it'll come back to Noelle Henning. Sophomore, first team as a junior, and looking every bit like a first-team All-ACC member in this game here against the Big Ten's Michigan State Spartans right here on the Big Ten Network. So they have switched as they put Lutke over on the other side away from Klinke.
Yeah, it's an interesting shift, but maybe not a surprising one when you consider how successful Klinke has been. Trying to slow her down, I'm sure, is a big objective right now.
Middle of the field, Lily Joseph came off the bench in this one, the sophomore from Connecticut, Hampton Hall, a country day. Calzada. Good pass to Engel. Engel! Oh! She can absolutely crush a ball. She hits it old school like Michelle Akers, one of the all-time greats. Izzy Engel can absolutely hit a rocket.
Yeah, I love that she pulls up here and looks for the shot. A good scorer is always going to look for the shot. And that one just a little bit high, but definitely she is dangerous out there. And I love the Michelle Akers name drop.
Yeah,
what a player. She's one of my faves.
Yeah. Started as a forward, ended her career as a holding mid. Irish, 5 shots by 4 different players. Engel, the only player for Notre Dame that has 2 shots. There's Chukwu with a shot that found the back of the net with great service from Klinke. Michigan State fights through. Referee plays advantage. So Michigan State. I'm not sure that Najera knew that help was coming on the right side as they try to play it early into Briggs.
Yeah, and Kennedy Bell did a nice job there pressuring. She showed her athleticism for sure, but Michigan State looking a little disorganized here and there. And in that case, slowed that down.
Klinke with a couple step overs. Left foot. Headed out of there by Michigan State. Notre Dame kept alive. That was Codd. Michigan State stays with it. The pace of this game has been solid. As we mentioned, perfect conditions for soccer. Here's Klinke again. Klinke. I think that's double-digit step overs now for Klinke. They'll leave it for Klinke. Klinke hands of Henning.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of changes Coach Hostler comes up with at halftime. You pointed out it's obviously a strength of theirs, right? Making adjustments. But I will say, I think what they started out doing was working really well. You know, Michigan State was putting a lot of pressure on Notre Dame. They were really possessing it well and connecting passes. And after maybe the 15 or 20-minute mark, they lost a little bit of that. And Notre Dame has just put their foot on the gas and not let up.
Tremendous breakdown from former Purdue Boilermaker Lauren Link. As you take a look at Briggs, Kayla Briggs, the junior from Canada, transfer from Providence.
And the clock is stopped right now. The referee is making some kind of notes. I didn't see what happened.
I didn't see a card given. We will check and see if a card was given. Spartans have been held scoreless in the first half twice. Once against Colorado and once against Dayton. In the game for Michigan State, as expected, Sophia Beerworth, the senior, transfer from New Mexico State. She's another Canadian. Wears the number 2 jersey for Jeff Hostler. I just heard a fan say, get it to Leah and get it done, talking about Leah Klinke, who has played out of this world for Notre Dame. You don't often hear that in soccer. It's not always just an individual sport unless you happen to be named Messi. But Klinke is putting on a clinic so far.
She absolutely is. I was not familiar with your game, Leah Klinke, but you whipping out all the moves and really fueling this kind of offensive burst we've seen from Notre Dame the past 15, 20 minutes.
So, Lauren, that's Shelby Vaughn that will come on for Jeff Hostler. She's a redshirt freshman from Creston, Ohio, with North FC, as we have a little over 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. Klinke to Chukwu. Their goal. Engel wanted to cut it back. And when she did, it was knocked out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Notre Dame, and Izzy Engel will set up near post. What a talent, Izzy Engel. She is on the board of every NWSL team there is, and quite a few European powers as well. Corner kick, Notre Dame, top of the 6. Henning with a solid punch with authority.
Yeah, great job there by Henning to get out to that and with some force too. Not allow a second chance.
Whistle called against Michigan State. We'll bring it back to Notre Dame. These two teams met in last year's season opener, a 2-1 Michigan State win. The Spartan Winds snapped a 13-game losing streak to the Irish dating back to 1990. In last year's game, each team had a goal in the opening 10 minutes, and then Justina Gaynor, who's now playing at the next level, scored the eventual game winner just 45 seconds in the second half. Brilliant cutback from Charlie Codd. Where's the 9 jersey? Here's Joseph. Joseph for the foul against Bella Najera.
And Najera's been pretty quiet for Michigan State so far. We've not seen her maybe as involved in the play as I imagine Coach Hostler would like, which probably speaks to Notre Dame's game plan of trying to get it out of the midfield and take away some of the talent that Michigan State has in the midfield.
The throw in for Notre Dame. Nope. send it back. So Nate Norman. Played for Bobby Clark at Notre Dame. There's Jeff Hostler, who is headed into the East Lansing High School Athletic Hall of Fame this weekend. So a big weekend for him. A nice little turn by Sargent. Looks to be okay.
I think my favorite comment from Coach Hostler about this Hall of Fame weekend is that it's his freshman daughter's first football game, and she has to endure the embarrassment of her dad getting inducted into the Hall of Fame at halftime. Just a horrifying experience as a freshman in college, or in high school, excuse me. Ooh, little handball action there, right outside the box. So that sets up a dangerous opportunity for Michigan State.
Jera over the ball, 3 goals and 2 assists and 6 starts. St. Charles, Illinois. I thought it was Najera the entire way. Now I'm starting to feel like a left-footed shot near post. Either way, I feel like a near post opportunity could be available here. I do not think this is a passing situation, although it is a 7-woman wall here for Notre Dame.
Beerworth does have some space here on the side if they decided to go that route.
Najera into the wall. Najera rebounds, sent back across. And waiting over there was Adele Francis, but could not make contact with the soccer ball.
And that's what the wall's for. Does a good job there. I think they probably caught him off sides there. I might have kept him on the backside there, but either way, good defensive work there by Notre Dame to thwart that effort.
They're going to turn it over. Right at the fourth officials table, be a throw in for the Spartans in front of another great crowd. Top 5 in the country in attendance. If you joined us late, it was Leah Klinke to Annabelle Chukwu. As Klinke put it on a dime to the head of Chukwu, and nothing that Noelle Henning could do. And that's the difference right now. 1-0 Notre Dame, the number 5 team in the country. Spartans. Every time it looks like they're going to combine with 5 or 6 passes. That 5th pass is interrupted by Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame has done a good job of getting in the passing lanes, keeping that pressure high, and that really was, their game plan. Apply pressure and make possession hard. They know this Michigan State likes possession. They're good at possessing the ball, and the goal has definitely been to disrupt that.
Klinke. It does not matter who they put over there as Klinke continues to serve balls in from the left side. We have talked about Big Ten Plus. Iowa State facing Iowa on Big Ten Plus, Oregon State against Nebraska, Northern Illinois and Wisconsin, Xavier in Indiana, Utah, and Washington. I'll give a shout out to Illinois. They're undefeated to start the non-con season. Squared ball. Michigan State, can they equalize here? Sent back across again, and it's handled there by Kasica. See if Notre Dame wants to drum up one more potential attack here in the final 1:30 or so. Lutke. One back by Notre Dame. That was Ali Pinto. Clinky. She's done a ton of damage just kind of staying along the left side, then getting to the end line. This time she decided to cut it inside, kind of the way Emily Fox does at times for the full national team.
There's 1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
So a few more subs here with 1 minute remaining for Nate Norman and Notre Dame. As Codd will get a break. Coming in for Codd will be Alessia Saya. So Saya's into the game. There's Pinto on the shield, throw in, final 30 seconds. Engel going to get a break as well as Buckner is in. Ooh, so close. Jera was shoulder to shoulder on that last line, but it was won back by Notre Dame, and here comes Notre Dame one more time. A little bit too long, final seconds counting down, and we played 45, and it's Notre Dame 1, Michigan State 0.
Yeah, I think if you're Michigan State, you probably don't feel too worried about this result, considering that they have a strong history of coming out hard in the second half. But I do think they have to go back to what was working for them early, which was that high pressure, possession-minded game that was really pretty successful and kind of put Notre Dame on their heels. But on the flip side, we talked about this Notre Dame offense, and they have so much firepower up top. Leah Klinke has been a menace so far this game, and you just got to control her and do not let Notre Dame have those transition moments if you want to have a chance in the second half.
(1-0) Notre Dame on top of Michigan State. Notre Dame led by Nate Norman. Nate, always great to be with you. And to be fair, Nate, in the first 10 minutes, Michigan State looked really good. And then all of a sudden, Leah Klinke looked like the best player in the world. She really kind of changed the dynamic for your team.
Yeah. No, they were very good. And, especially early, they posed a lot of problems. And I think we settled in. And, yeah, Leah definitely getting some good crosses in on the goal. That was a fantastic ball. Leah looks really lively. But I do think we settled down a little bit after that first 10 minutes, which was nice.
Coach, talk about your defense. Abby Mills, you said she's not bothered by much. She looked really composed. How do you feel about their performance in the first half?
Yeah, so far so good. Just we need to just stay consistent, stay focused. Obviously, they're always dangerous, so we need to make sure we're not. We're always tracking runners. We're always understanding when they can counter us and when they can transition on us. So, but overall, really happy with the back line. I think Ali and Cece also did a fantastic job.
Nate, I know that you are so proud to be back at your alma mater, and you're doing a great job. Thanks for spending some time with us, Nate Norman.
Thanks, Dean. I appreciate you, Dean. I miss being up there with you.
All right, Nate, good luck in the second half. Nate did call some games with me back in the day. Another great crowd here at DeMartin. And the Leah Klinke show down the end line. Chukwu in the back of the net. Your halftime score, number 5 Notre Dame 1, Michigan State 0.
How do you know when you've made the right decision?
Think of the game, the post, the best friend to Notre Dame as it went off the post and out of bounds, and then shortly after, Klinke makes that perfect pass to Chukwu.
Yeah, definitely Briggs, I'm sure, is going to be thinking about that one tonight. But, as a forward, you have lots of those moments that you want back. I think Michigan State needs to have a little bit more of a cutthroat mentality when it comes to attacking this half. And, Briggs maybe took a second too long on that. They had another opportunity in front of goal. It should have probably been a one-touch and held on to it too long. So I'd like to see Michigan State have a little bit more of that quick strike mentality that Hostler mentioned Notre Dame having.
Those stats really do tell the story. 5 shots for both teams, 2 shots on frame for both teams. Of course, the difference is the headed ball by Chukwu to make it 1-0 Notre Dame. The great pass from Klinke. Spartans so good in the second half. I mentioned this in the first half. They have outscored their opposition in the non-conference season 11-0 in the second half. So they know they've got that headed into this second half. They have the ability to put some balls in the back of the net and get this thing tied up.
Absolutely, and I thought Kennedy Bell might do just that right there, but I agree. I mean, there's no better stat to have in your pocket heading into the second half down 1-0 than knowing you're a really good second half team. And to only be down 1 goal to a top 5 Notre Dame team, I think Michigan State probably feels like this one is still well within reach. They just got to capitalize on that game plan.
Michigan State started the season out in Boulder, a 1-1 tie against a good Colorado team. Here's Notre Dame looking for that second goal. Engel was lurking near post, goes all the way through, cleared long by Michigan State, and Notre Dame will run it back. Then home games for Michigan State, a tie against Dayton. And then they smoked NC State 3-0, beat Milwaukee 9-zip, Buffalo 2-1, and then their last game, disappointment against Xavier. This shot off the Michigan State defender, Restovich, over to Chukwu. Oh my! A wonder goal, Galazzo time, and it's Notre Dame 2, Michigan State 0.
Chukwu, 2 goals in this game, her first 2 of the season, and Notre Dame's coming out hot this half. Chukwu had a couple chances here and just cues this one up. Does not give Henning a chance there. That is perfectly placed, upper 90, and just finishing clinic being put on by Annabelle Chukwu this game. Whew, that's pretty, Dean.
Yeah, really pretty. Not too many goalkeepers that can stop that one, and you see the bench for Notre Dame fired up, including their top man, Nate Norman, as a brace now for number 7, Annabelle Chukwu, the Canadian superstar, who is now getting attention and caps with the full national team. In fact, I think Chukwu, not positive about this, but I think she got on against the USA not that long ago, the full national team for the USA. Restovich, those 11 helpers a year ago.
Yeah, and Chukwu certainly hasn't been quiet this season. She didn't have any goals coming into this game, but had 4 assists on the season. So she's been helping everyone else find the back of the net. But exciting for her to find the back of the net herself now twice tonight. Another dangerous opportunity here for Notre Dame right outside the box.
Restovich with Klinke. Stop the clock here. We're supposed to anyway. 10 yards are set. Notre Dame has doubled their lead early here in the second half. Right foot, Restovich. Say off of Michigan State, so it'll be a Notre Dame corner kick.
Good job there by Watson, I think, is who got her foot on it. It's always a dangerous clearance when you're clearing towards your own goal. But she did a good job to push that plenty high. But the danger is still not over for the Spartans.
Morgan Roy, right-footed corner kick. Roy near post, Chukwu with a hat trick. 3-0 Notre Dame.
And a well-deserved celebration here with her teammates. They are giving her all the love. And she has put this Notre Dame team on her back. With still 40 minutes to go a hat trick. Her first goals of the season are coming in threes.
Her first multi-goal game of her career, and she's made it 3, and she might not be done. Good job climbing the ladder. She was right there with Klinke and Chukwu. Puts it in the back of the net.
The Notre Dame goal scored by
Hat trick tonight.
Chukwu. Assisted by number 23, Morgan Roy.
So Roy will get the assist with the great service from the corner. Michigan State trying to answer.
That was a nice ball played across there by Kennedy Bell. Just no one ready for it on the other end.
So Chukwu actually did have 2 goals coming into this game, Lauren Link.
Oh,
So
shoot. Sorry, Annabelle. We shorted her. Apologies for neglecting those 2 goals, but even more impressive, 5 goals on the season. Just trying to catch up to Izzy Engel, who's got 6.
11 goals for that great combination up top. Notre Dame led at half 1-0. Now it's 3-0 with a mountain of soccer left. 39 minutes to be exact. And then number 1 Stanford and number 6 Southern Cal right after this one. With Big Ten Plus, this is one of those games where you find every iPad you have, every computer, everything possible turn there for Michigan State. Emerson Sargent, who got banged up in the first half, looks to be okay.
Returning for Michigan State, number 6, Remedy Tillinson.
Last non-conference home loss for Michigan State actually came against Notre Dame a couple years ago. As you remember, last year, Jeff Hostler's team beat Notre Dame. Michigan State has been so good. It was 2 years ago yesterday, the last time Michigan State has taken a loss at DeMartin. And they trail on this one 3-0. Same team that beat them for the last time. It's Notre Dame again.
Yeah, and I didn't realize this was such a historic matchup, but it's feeling like such, especially in the last few years.
Restovich got her foot on it and called for the foul. See the referee, a little bit of warning for potential dissent, no card. Michigan State actually has 3 of its next 4 home games live on the Big Ten Network. This one, the UCLA game, and then October 5th against Lori Walker Hawks, Ohio State Buckeyes. Klinke right at the 18. There's the work defensively. Now Notre Dame. Engel with the drop-off. Engel. She's going to want some, right? Knowing that her running mate, Annabelle Chukwu, now has 5. Drop back over to Restovich. Restovich, she'll take a shot. What a save. A massive save. If Michigan State can get back into this game, Noelle Henning, top shelf save.
Yeah, great save. Not only to make the save, but also to push it out of bounds, not allow a second chance. Big-time goalkeeping by Noelle Henning. But Notre Dame continuing to pour on the pressure. And really, you know, you see Henning there pretty frustrated. I'm imagining that frustration is that Notre Dame has so much space, has so much time to queue up those shots. I think she's telling her teammates, you got to step quicker to that ball.
So here comes Roy again. Roy, who got the assist a moment ago. And that one will go over the crossbar. I think it was Shelby. It was rather number 20, Abby Mills. Noelle Henning.
And there's that frustration a little bit. Certainly can understand that. Notre Dame has poured it on and has had really good chances. Although if you're Noelle Henning, I mean, really good shots. Hard to defend, and that second goal from Chukwu especially, you know, most goalkeepers are not touching that.
Yeah, big time save, and then the fire to try to get Michigan State back in this one. .6% of Notre Dame's total points returned this season. That incredible freshman class now out there as sophomores, including Chukwu and Engel. Notre Dame with great balance. They beat Oakland 8-0 and had 7 different players score a goal. And this game, they've had one game score all 3, and it's that player right there, number 7, Annabelle Chukwu. Corner kick coming from Michigan State. Watson, corner kick. From Notre Dame, and another corner kick. First of 2 games on the Big Ten Network as the doubleheader rolls on. That 6th-ranked USC hosting number 1 Stanford at beautiful Rawlinson Stadium after this game. You can see it 1 versus 6. Corner kick coming from Michigan State. They can get that first one maybe before minute 30 or minute 25. They'll definitely have the belief they can get back into this game. Kennedy Bell. Notre Dame's clearance, Restovich, Bell. A little touch by Engel. Engel with such great speed. Engel now, the ball at her feet, finally stopped, stays with it. Engel so good. And just a little bit too strong.
It's so impressive. We know Izzy Engel can score, excuse me, but to be able to have that kind of speed, take that space so easily, such an impressive athlete.
Shot from distance.
And it's worth noting that she's beating Kennedy Bell, who is also a notably great athlete.
Don't be surprised to see Izzy Engel and Chukwu in St. Louis for the Mac Herman Trophy at the end. Notre Dame looking to add to their 3-0 lead. Can't quite do it. Notre Dame ranked number 5 since arriving in 2021 with Jeff Hostler. Michigan State is an impressive 11-6-4 against ranked opponents. They've got a little bit of wood to chop here in this one, though, down 3-0.
No doubt. We talked about their impressive second half stat line of, not letting up any goals in the second half, which now, of course, will change a little bit after this this game. Excuse me, but I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought as I was watching the the ref pull out the card here? A little shove in the back. Draws the card there.
So the card issued to Lainey Montriano, number 13. Good hustle by Bell to keep it alive. Dancing with it here, Renee Watson. Emerson Sargent.
And this is where Notre Dame has been so dangerous this half, for these quick transitions, which Coach talked about wanting to capitalize on. We didn't see a ton of it in the first half, but they have been just on fire in the second half, taking advantage of those transitions.
Engel with the collision, fair play as she helps up Maggie Illig. By the way, Maggie Illig, worth talking about because, well, let's take a look at this foul first. There's the good sportsmanship there with Illig. Illig, by the way, Jeff Hostler said, is the only player on the team that has been able to beat him in horse. Remember, the sharpshooter that's headed in the Hall of Fame for not just his soccer accolades, but his basketball accolades. Apparently, Illig can fill it up.
Also talked about her leadership on this team. Illig and Najera, kind of the two big vocal leaders on this Spartan team.
The senior Maggie Illig, second team All Big Ten. And one of the things about coming to Michigan State now with Jeff Hostler is he is able to develop players. He has never been afraid to change players' positions to maximize what they put out there. And Illig, a pretty good example, a player that was playing outside back, sometimes in the middle, second team All Big Ten last year with the help from Jeff Hostler and the Michigan State coaching staff. Which, by the way, just a couple years ago, Michigan State, as they earned a corner kick, it's kind of funny with Dean Linke and Lauren Link here. Megan Link was the associate head coach to Jeff Hostler.
We could invite Leah Klinke to our club. It's a pretty exclusive one.
And there's Lutke, that's close. There's a corner kick coming for Michigan State. Renee Watson, Canadian. Left-footed ball. They put it in a good spot, about the 8-yard mark. Sargent.
Man, Michigan State has had a lot of good opportunity from corners. 4 corners in the last 5 or so minutes, but Notre Dame is just such a physical team, especially in the air. Spartans have really not been able to capitalize on them.
Jeff Hostler looking on as he has seen Annabelle Chukwu score 3 against him. The last hat trick for Notre Dame was Ellie Hodson versus Cal. Don't forget, number 1 Stanford, number 6 Southern Cal. We'll get you right out to Southern Cal after this one wraps up. Right now, Notre Dame feeling pretty comfortable with a 3-0 lead against the Spartans.
And you talked about that development that Coach Hostler looks to do. We, talked to him about his top 10 recruiting class he just brought in and what he's looking to accomplish in the recruiting game, and he's looking for that development. He wants to develop kids. He wants kids that hate to lose as much as him, which seems like it might be a hard thing to find. He really hammered that home that he doesn't like winning as much as he hates to lose. And he really played up the relationships and playing the best opponents, and his girls want to come somewhere where they're playing the best opponents, which they certainly are tonight.
Chipped in to the 18. Trying to avoid a corner kick. As Ellie Hodson, who, as we mentioned, has had a hat trick this season, the sophomore. So more weapons for Nate Norman's team. Del Francis, number 11, tried to win it, but Restovich, who seems to be everywhere. Sargent with the handball. Ends up back in the hands of Noelle Henning. To be fair, she's not there. I hate saying it because the first 15, 20 minutes, it felt like it was all Michigan State. But if we really assess it, if Henning is not in goal for Jeff Hostler, it might be 5-0 Notre Dame.
Yeah, Henning has had a really good game. It's unfortunate, to have a great game and still be down 3-0. But like you said, I mean, 2 of the 3 goals, I think, were practically unavoidable. I mean, just really good finishes by Notre Dame.
So Coach Hostler going to make multiple changes here as you see Noelle Henning, the freshman. Her counterpart for Damon Rensing, who, by the way, congratulations to Damon Rensing, the men's coach from Michigan State, who got win number 150 this week. The goalkeeper, Zach Kelly, is actually part of the World Cup Turf Maintenance Committee and panel. So what an opportunity for him to graduate and walk right into that. But these teams know each other well, so Noelle Henning fully aware of Zach Kelly, the goalkeeper for the men's team here at Michigan State. Sargent. It's Illig with a good ball. Far side. Klinke again. Klinke. Talk about a great two-way performance. Outstanding on offense with that initial helper and really getting it done defensively for Nate Norman's Fighting Irish.
Absolutely. I mean, Chukwu's going to be the one that shows up on the stat line, but Leah Klinke really got things going for this Fighting Irish team and has just been a menace on both ends of the pitch.
Talked a lot about Jeff Hostler. Nate Norman has done pretty well in the last 4 seasons as well. Sweet 16 and 21, Elite 8 and 22, second round in 23, and then another Elite 8 a year ago. A hat trick from Chukwu, and it's 3-0 Notre Dame over Michigan State. Michigan State trying to get on the board, not quite there.
And that was Caleb Briggs. I love the quick shot there. Just can't quite get her foot all the way around it. But we talked about the need for Michigan State to capitalize on any space they get in that final third, and so I like the quick look there to get it off.
Picked off here by Michigan State. The press is on for the Spartans. That was Briggs, who had that great opportunity early on. We got subs coming in. Talked a lot about players playing for Canada and the USA.
Yeah, and there's Noelle Henning with the Canadian U20 national team. Caleb Briggs also representing her Canadian heritage. Renee Watson was the first of that Canadian pipeline for the Spartans. And then on the flip side, the U.S. national team has had some people that we've talked about here tonight. Bell and Najera both representing. Have to imagine that a lot of these players after the game, regardless of the result, will be exchanging some pleasantries and catching up.
For sure. See the fouls, almost even, just one more for Notre Dame. nifty pass right there from Tessa Knapp, the freshman. There's a lot of talent on this field, both teams. And the whistle, Lily Joseph. That's Sophia Piotrowski, the junior from Troy, Michigan. For the Michigan Hawks, a storied club in the area. Notre Dame. Too far out in front to Allie Pinto, and there to gobble it up again is Noelle Henning.
A little light tackling in the middle of the pitch. That'll draw a foul most of the time.
Lauren Link, Michigan State has to show some urgency now. We've talked about trying to get it out wide. Not sure if they've been able to accomplish that. What does Michigan State need to do to try to pull one back here?
I think a couple things that stand out to me. One is just really valuing the possession. And, there is a perfect example laid out for me. They just have to value the possession. They cannot afford, certainly in their defensive third, to give this talented Notre Dame team more chances. So I think, and probably fatigue plays into that a little bit. It can get harder to control the ball well. Another dangerous look there for a minute, but yeah, gotta control possession, gotta really value that possession and string some passes together. And then I think in the attacking third, I mentioned it a couple of times, like getting those looks off quick. Notre Dame is too fast, they're too talented to give you much space in their 18 box. So we've seen that a couple of times in the second half, so the quick looks for Michigan State, and I think that's what they've got to try to utilize a little bit more.
Red Cedar Rowdies, the student fan group for Michigan State, which has put Michigan State on the map attendance-wise. They want to see this Jeff Hostler coach team. They are seeing something that is rare. The last time the Spartans were held scoreless in East Lansing here at DeMartin was in 2022, a 0-0 tie against Iowa. That's worth mentioning because Dave Diani won 3 natties at Grand Valley State, went to the Hawkeyes. In comes Jeff Hostler. He wins 3 natties at Grand Valley State and comes into Michigan State.
A little bit of a theme there. Both have had great success in the Big Ten.
Notre Dame winning a lot of the 50-50 battles, a lot of the second balls. They weren't doing that in the first 15-20 minutes of the game, but after the clinky move along the end line to Annabelle Chukwu, it seems like they have done a lot more of it. The stat line was dead even as well at the end of the first half, short of the score line, but in the second half, Notre Dame has been really classy.
Absolutely, and we highlighted a number of times the pressure that Michigan State put on early to kind of, have that possession going, but they just have really not been able to get that back consistently. And on the flip side, Notre Dame has. They've turned up the pressure, and they have really not let up.
So Klinke is going to get a break. Roy is going to come in. That might be it for Klinke. I mean, you can't take the player of the game away from Chukwu because she's got a hat trick, but Klinke was really impressive, much to the chagrin, I'm sure, of Jeff Hostler.
Just getting some like Tobin Heath vibes from Klinke and her fancy footwork.
That's fair. Step overs. back as they'll try to work through the final 16:30 of this game with a 3-0 lead. Notre Dame has not allowed a goal since 10 minutes left in the second half at Arkansas back on August 17th. A 2-2 tie. Notre Dame might have what it takes, dare I say, to win it all.
We asked Coach Norman, what are the goals of this team? Are they talking about a Final Four? Are they talking about a natty? And his answer was, win the next game. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about win the next game and how can we get better, which, fair answer from a coach. But I have to imagine, they know.
That answer. But here's the thing, though, to his point, with you winning every game, when you get into the NCAA tournament, it's win or go home time, so that attitude might just work.
Absolutely. Can never get too far ahead of yourself. That'll bite you most of the time.
A hat trick from the Canadian Annabelle Chukwu, who also has scored 29 goals with the Canada youth team. That's been enough to earn her a call up to the full team. And after the full team sees that she scored 3 against a really good Michigan State team on the road, coaches notice those kind of things.
Absolutely. Goals are always good, but goals against quality teams are that much better. That was a dangerous ball in from Michigan State and the rare bounce in the box. Notre Dame did not get on the other end of it, but unfortunately Michigan State just did not have an attacker there ready to take it.
Coming up, the women's soccer doubleheader rolls on as 6th-ranked USC battles #1 Stanford at beautiful Rawlinson Stadium. You see both teams out there warming up. The incredible Rawlinson Stadium, and they deserve it. They are not that far removed from winning a national championship, Southern Cal. They did it with Kadani McAlpine, who's now at Georgia, and his associate head coach was Jen Klein, who's the head coach at Michigan. That was in 2016, so I guess it's a little bit further down. That's 9 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun. And Notre Dame starting to boss this game just a little bit here, Lauren Link.
Yeah, they're definitely making it challenging for Michigan State to maintain much of this possession. You see little bursts here and there, but Notre Dame has been impressive in their ability to just not let up and keep that pressure high. Even, now we've got almost 80 minutes in these legs, and they still have not let up and punished Michigan State anytime they can't keep that possession.
So a week from tomorrow, Jeff Hostler will start conference play against Mike O'Neill in Piscataway at Rutgers. He does have the benefit of having UCLA and USC traveling to East Lansing. Those games will be on the 18th and the 21st. The game on the 18th will be on the Big Ten Network. Then they head up to Minnesota to take on Aaron Chastain's Golden Gophers, and then Wisconsin. Paula Wilkins always has her team in the NCAA tournament, as does Lori Walker Hawks' team. They'll play the Buckeyes on the Big Ten Network on October 5th in East Lansing. Go to Michigan and Iowa, then Indiana and Illinois at home, and they'll finish the season at Nebraska. Majera. And that again by Notre Dame. Boy, as much as you talk about the 3 goals from Chukwu, the back line for Notre Dame has been really good. And we have barely had to say the name of Sonomo Kasica, the sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida. She has not had a ton to do.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Their back line has been solid and really not rattled, even in the handful of chances that Michigan State has looked pretty dangerous. They've done a great job holding that down.
We're just 1 year removed from the 2024 year when the Spartans set a school record with a 14-game unbeaten streak to start the year, surpassing the previous record of 10 set way back in 2009. 2023 Michigan State squad also won 3 straight to open the year. Let's take a look at Sophia Beerworth.
And she drew the foul there, which is going to give Michigan State a good little look right outside the box.
Beerworth, read by Notre Dame. Played out of the back by Allie Marin, a senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Engel back in there. Look at Engel. 2 white jerseys around her, and she'll break away from him. Look at this release here from Engel. Engel squares one over. Perhaps a little bit too much spin when she did it, and that allowed Michigan State to track back and get in the way of Ellie Hodson.
Yeah, and Engel is just so good on the ball and taking that space, and so explosive. She just leaves people in the dust.
Special talent. 25 goals for Engel in a year and 7 games. This is just incredible.
A lot of people would be happy with 25 goals in a career.
Amen.
Something to stop the clock here. I think maybe pushing them back a little bit. They might have gotten a little trigger happy with that kick. Now to restart that.
Over 9 minutes remaining in a second half that has been controlled by Nate Norman's Fighting Irish. Nate Norman, who works with Dawn Sergey, Martin Rennie, and Gina Lewandowski. Gina Lewandowski, a big-time player as well. Nice turn by Michigan State. Brilliant turn from Shelby Vaughn, wearing number 20. Looking to get it into the 18, but Notre Dame's defense is back there again as they'll try to finish out these final 8 minutes with a 3-0 lead.
It's worth pointing out it's hard to score against a team like Notre Dame anyway, but especially a Notre Dame team who's happy to sit back and, you know, hold some numbers back because they've got a solid lead is even more challenging. A lot of numbers back there defensively for Notre Dame. And they've pretty effectively clogged things up for Michigan State.
So we're seeing some changes here as Sargent has come in for Piotrowski for the final 8 minutes. Throw in coming from Mimi Hollier, the junior from the Kansas City Athletic Club. Plinke stays with it. Ooh, they're going to call a handball on Klinke. Really good opportunity here for Michigan State to put one on the board. Looked to me like Najera pretty much told all takers that this one's mine. Although right now Renee Watson seems intrigued. Is it Najera or is it Watson? And Najera's going to leave it for Watson, and it's been that kind of night, unfortunately, short of the early opportunity from Kayla Briggs way back early in the first half. Probably should have been 1-0 Michigan State when it wasn't. And Klinke made that great move to find Chukwu. The tables have been turned, and Notre Dame showing why they're the number 5 team in the country.
Yeah, no doubt that there's not a shortage of talent on this Notre Dame team and athleticism. That's one thing that's really stood out to me. You know, we knew they had some great soccer talent, but when you have that kind of talent and the athleticism that they have, that's going to be hard to stop.
Sitting in the broadcast booth for that top 6 matchup, Nick Coop and Tracy Bailey. And we'll get it out to Nick and Tracy right after this one. From number 1 versus number 6 on the Big Ten Network. Yeah, that's right. It's coming up around the corner. Can still catch a few games on Big Ten Plus as well.
Another composed moment there by the back line.
Played into space. Chukwu has never scored 2 in a game. Did that. Has never scored 3 in a game. Did that. It's 3-0 as the Notre Dame Chukwus in this one, 3-0. The Fighting Irish getting a great game from that player right there, number 7. Chukwu will earn a corner kick, and that's a good way to eat some of the clock here. What a performance from Annabelle Chukwu out of Ontario, Canada.
And heading into this game with 2 goals, we knew she had pace. We knew she was physical, could take defenders on one-on-one, but I have to really shout out her finishing. I mean, she has made it nearly impossible to save her chances here tonight.
Engel somehow got a really tough touch, but Michigan State comes out of there in transition here. See if they can do anything with it. Notre Dame's so good at getting back. That's Riley DiMartino, number 17, tracking all the way back. This will find Dalton. Chukwu. I'm not sure she even knew what she was doing there, but she figured I've scored 3. Maybe this will work. It didn't, but they have a 3-0 lead.
Worth a shot.
A little bit surprised, actually, that Engel and Chukwu still in this game, up 3-0. Engel, though, does this kind of thing. Chukwu could get 4. Engel, she wants her own goal.
She said, "You got 3.
Step over,
I'm gonna
yeah.
take this one."
She probably should have dropped it, though.
Probably should have. I don't disagree with that assessment.
Taken away by Michigan State. Michigan State will fall to 3-2-2 on the young season. Notre Dame will move up to 5-0-1. Three minutes remain in a game that saw 3 goals from Annabelle Chukwu. A hat trick for number 7. Let's take a look at him.
Yeah, and here's all those Chukwu goals. Leah Klinke, the starter to some of this fire that we saw from Notre Dame. The first finish with her head, this beauty into the side netting, and then another header amidst that mess in the 6-yard box. And so, yeah, 3 goals for the first time in her college career. Pretty cool. And what a great moment for her to whip those out against a really talented Michigan State team who just has not been able to get it going, especially offensively here tonight.
Going to mention again that Jeff Hostler will go into the East Lansing High School Athletics Hall of Fame tomorrow night. And as you mentioned, as part of the game, his oldest daughter will also be there. See right now, not in the best mood, but hopefully tomorrow being around some of his old friends. And also, I think it's fair to say, and it's not just me hyping Michigan State for no reason, Michigan State will make some noise in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. This is definitely a talented team. You can see the moments there and the talent that they have, but clearly just couldn't quite get that rhythm going against this really talented Notre Dame team. But I agree. I think we'll see Michigan State back in the rankings before too long as the season progresses.
Little drop here. Michigan State. Final 70 seconds and the shot not quite there.
There's 1 minute remaining in the game. 1 minute.
Tough one for the Spartans. Notre Dame elevated their performance in the second half. A hat trick for number 7, Annabelle Chukwu. And we'll get you out pretty quickly to LA. For Southern Cal, number 6 in the country, and number 1 Stanford.
One last attempt here from Notre Dame, but Michigan State will
8, 7,
clear it.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A hat trick for Annabelle Chukwu is the difference. Final score, Notre Dame, the 5th-ranked team in the country, 3, Michigan State 0.
Yeah, some good moments from Michigan State. Certainly lots to learn from, but tonight Notre Dame was the better team. They were just too offensively powered, and it was all that girl right there. Annabelle Chukwu finds the back of the net 3 times. Some really beautiful goals in there as well. Excited for this next game coming up.
All right, that's going to wrap it up from East Lansing for Lauren Link and our entire crew. I'm Dean Linke, and I'll take you to Los Angeles for Stanford, USC, Nick Coop, and Tracy Bailey.